here in Atlanta. Got a pretty decent view back here. Sun's in the way for now, but yeah, they got an awesome balcony up here, 4th floor. Anyways, just as a reminder, I'm here for the sorry, I'm out of breath from coming up those stairs. Yeah, I'm at the Hack GSU Hackathon. It's been pretty sweet. There, maybe you can see here Atlanta. Nice view. Everything in the background. And they got a pretty sweet balcony out here, and here. I think it goes all the way around the building. Anyways, showed up, left after I got my hair cut. So I didn't actually do any updates yesterday, I guess, apparently. So there's about a 3-second video from yesterday. That's all you get. And so then I left Knoxville around 1-ish, I think, after I dropped off my visa application at the post office. Sent that off, so that's exciting. And then drove to Atlanta, stopped by Mom's house, eat some pizza, and then went on my way. Then, actually, I gotta remember to text her back. I forgot to do that. Let's see. Yep, now I'm blinking, of course. Well, I got to Atlanta, and the traffic was pretty good for the most part, but about 4 miles before my exit, well, that's not true. I mean, for a while it was pretty bad. Obviously, this week there was that fire, and there was on the bridge on I-85, so that was kind of a disaster. But it was nothing compared to northbound. I mean, the southbound got bad. When you got kind of pretty close into the city. Northbound was literally backed up for 20-25 miles. I mean, it had to have been. Anyways, just lucky I wasn't in that. I got here. Finding parking garage was a bit tricky. A bunch of one-way streets and all that, the city street management, basically. And then, found the parking, got on my computer and figured out where I needed to go. It's still a bit early, so I got all my stuff together for my car. Came on over. It's a pretty nice building. It's kind of interesting setup, but it worked out pretty well. Food line seems like it could be a problem based on last night's dinner, but we kind of got through it. Not sure if there's as many people here as they had expected. There's a lot of people, but not a lot, or an overwhelmingly amount. Anyways, after the opening ceremonies, we hung out and met some people. If you either didn't have a team, or you had an ID and you needed team members, or you didn't have an ID or a team at all, you could kind of hang around. So I talked to a few people, met my 2 teammates, Dom and Jabri. Anyway, so we had a pretty good night working on some stuff. Jabri works as a bodyguard in Buckhead, so he left last night around 9:30 and worked from 10 to 3, and then came back here. Anyway, so he'll probably crash here after a while. And then I crashed around 1, got up about 5, and then it's about 8:30 now, I believe. And then Dom, I think, was up, well, I don't know what time he went to bed, but probably around 3:30 or 4, and then got up about 7:30 or 8. Anyways, working on the, what I call, I guess, the Serendipity calling app, or the Serendi. And then they're a little bit younger. Dom is, I think, his first year freshman, and so he's been learning a bunch about Git and wants to do some Swift iOS stuff, so that's exciting. And then Jabri's got most of his background in C++ and Java, so he's trying to learn a bit about the web dev stuff. Anyways, it's a couple cool guys. Food's been pretty decent. Still early. Still got a lot to do, but we're making progress. We're here, taking myself a little break, eating some dinner. Of course, they feed us terribly here. I mean, junk food wise, in terms of terrible. Ate a bunch of pizza, a bunch of bread today, so it's awful. But do what you gotta do, I guess. Let my computer restart. So Probably there's a bunch of stuff messed up on it. That's why everything's going wrong, of course. Anyways, yeah, just taking a little break, looking outside of the city. A bunch of people walking around. Nice Saturday, all these people spending time outside. I'm sitting in here. Anyways, it's actually freezing in here, super cold. Yeah, I mean, I made some pretty good progress. I was learning Vue.js for this. Got the routing to work. Got a couple basic pages set up. Got the sockets linked up, and so I'm able to retrieve the room and user information from the back end instead of using Sales. And then at the moment I'm trying to, so last night I did get the temp and tutorial browser calling functionality to work. So I used my phone to call the browser, my computer, and actually, could hear myself talking, so that was pretty cool. Now I just gotta figure out, because these people wrote it in Jade, so I'm trying to convert and even understand what they're doing on the Jade, and then write it in normal JavaScript, so I can get that ported over to my app. But it really shouldn't be that hard, because what the tutorial is doing is a lot of what I need to do. Basically, you get on there and you click a button, and it says, call this person, and call the operator, and the operator just says answer, and so you both press a button and it connects. And so I guess that's really what I would need to do for this. So yeah, it shouldn't be that bad, as long as I can figure out what this stupid Jade or Pug or whatever they call it now. The funny part is, I think after looking at it, if I got into it, it could be super awesome. It looks pretty sweet in terms of a templating engine, but I don't know, it just looks weird, so I don't like it. But anyways, alright, I just wanted to take a break, get a quick update in here, so I could be better than last time. Had a couple Snapchats. Like I said, did I tell you I'm freezing? It's freaking cold in here. Got my sort of scarf thing. Anyways, alright, I'll get back at you tonight, I guess. Get the little midnight update in there, so you don't get many of those. And the question that just popped in my mind is, does this go on yesterday or today? Does it go on Saturday or Sunday? I don't know. Now I'm in I found this unopened water, so that's pretty sweet. I don't have any drinks, and so I'm here holding down the fort. Dom's asleep, and Jabri went to work. He's a bodyguard, so he's over at Buckhead again now. Anyways, I've actually been getting quite a bit done. Spent a bunch of time today working on the Vue.js, and then some of the sales stuff with the sales stuff with the sockets. And yeah, I've learned a bunch, but I ended up scratching all that. I found this project that Twilio made. It was basically a kind of a browser calling app, and it was written in Jade, and I was like, I don't want to do Jade because it looked pretty terrible. So then I was gonna rebuild it, start over from just a straight Express app with handlebars, and then I realized how hard that was going to be, because the Jade stuff apparently relies on a lot of JavaScript, jQuery, and so I was going to have to translate that or something. So anyways, I just decided to scratch that again and learn and go with Jade. And honestly, it looks pretty sweet, actually. It's a super concise templating engine. It's one of those things that catches you off guard when you first see it, because there's it doesn't look anything like JavaScript, really. Well, it's actually not really JavaScript, but, it doesn't look like HTML or JavaScript or anything. It's almost a Pythonic kind of a stuff. I don't know. Even Python is more verbose than Jade, as far as I can tell. Anyways, I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Got a decent product, so I can. I actually don't know how well this works really. When it's just me calling in and it's just the computer answering it, it's fine. But I have no idea how it's going to do when there's multiple people trying to call. But kind of what I figured out is that even if you can't, if I'm not able to narrow it down by category, basically there's about, if half the people say they're calling in, and then another half the people say they're accepting, then it's almost a race to be able to accept it first. And that's kind of a pretty interesting marketing tactic in terms of, you kind of have to have your phone open to know whether somebody's calling or not. And then accept based around that. Anyways, yeah, so going pretty well. Next I'm going to try and implement some basic category selection, and then see if I can implement some form of the room specification to where you can say I only want to talk about this topic and you're only matched with those people, instead of selecting a topic but still being connected with everybody. But I mean, for the hackathon, kind of smudge those lines a little bit. Anyways, I actually got so much done. I mean, I've been listening to a bunch of Glass Animals, so that's pretty awesome. Got into their stuff a lot this past 3 hours, and it's been interestingly, I guess, calm. I mean, I'm almost like, okay, it's good. I'm just working, making a pretty cool product. So, I mean, it's even different from earlier when I was actually kind of doing more of what I originally wanted to do or planned to do in terms of the view and the sockets, but just kind of building this app with the Jade and the Twilio stuff has been pretty sweet. I guess it's a lot less flustered and but even though I guess it makes me feel like I'm not getting as much done or doing as much, which is an interesting thing to think about, right? Anyways, I guess I'm going to get off of here and quit killing time. I'll see you later today.